Good morning. I'm Muriel Bowser. I'm the mayor of Washington, D.C. I'm joined by the Chief of Police, Peter Newsham, the Executive Director of our Office of Neighborhood Safety and Engagement, and the Ward 8 Council Member, Trayon White. We are also joined by members of MBD leadership and the community. We are here to ask for your help. On Sunday evening, a child was killed on the streets of Washington, D.C. His name was Steven Slaughter. He was walking down this street, coming back from a quick trip to the store when he was tragically struck by gunfire and died. As I said, he was a mere 14 years old. Steven was a beloved son and student and friend, neighbor and classmate and teammate, yet someone shot him walking down the street. I share the outrage of many Washingtonians when thinking about the future of this young boy that will never be realized. I'm also very saddened and angry that we have seen 2 other young boys killed in this month alone. We, as a city, are a place where we want all of our children to be able to live full and engaging lives and be able to look forward to their futures. I am even more saddened by the fact that it was likely that another young person was at the other end of this gun. Yet I know that this family and families that have been victims of gun violence in our city deserve answers and deserve justice. We have certainly in our city struck a path towards making sure young people have opportunities, and we also support making sure families that have been victims of crime have justice. So we know that this crime happened in the evening, and we're asking that anyone who knows anything about this homicide come forward. I had the opportunity to talk to Mom yesterday. And what I told her was when we see crimes against children, we almost always see the community stand up and say this will not happen here. And that is what needs to happen in the case of young Steven Slaughter. So I want the chief to just provide all of the information that we know. And once again, we want anyone with information, even if you don't think it's important, it may help the police in their investigation. Chief Newsham.
Thank you, Mayor Bowser. I'm joined here with Commander Parsons from my Criminal Investigations Division and Commander Taylor of the 6th District. And you can see a number of my homicide detectives are here as well. Police have been out here for the last several days, handing out flyers, trying to gain any type of information or collect any video that might be available. So on Sunday, January 14th, at about a little bit before 7 p.m., members of the 6th District responded to the 1700 block of Minnesota Avenue where we're standing for the report of a shooting. When they arrived, they found a 14-year-old victim on the ground suffering from multiple gunshot wounds. He was transported to a local hospital where he was later pronounced dead. The decedent was identified as 14-year-old Steven Slaughter, who lived here in this neighborhood. Members of the homicide unit have been working on this case since it happened. Frankly, we have not gotten the information that we need to close this case. The mayor mentioned this. That is why we're here today. If anyone has seen anything or heard anything, to please give us a call on 202-727-9099, or they can text us at 50411. This is a tragedy that has devastated a family. But it also has devastated this community. The only lookout that we have at this point is we have an older model, either silver or gray Mercedes that was seen leaving the area shortly after the shooting. So we want the community to think back to Sunday evening around 7 p.m. If they saw a vehicle of that nature, if they saw a tag, if they live in an area where they know that there is a video camera where this vehicle may have passed by, we'd like them to give us a call. They can, and like I said, they can do that anonymously. We are offering a $25,000 reward for anyone who brings information in this case. I'm going to ask the council member to step up. I think he wants to say a few words.
Good morning. We're here today to talk about another tragedy in our community here in Ward 8, and it's happening far too often, not just here but across the city. As you think about the countless number of young people who's been shot and killed in the last year in Washington, D.C. I often say that bad things happen when good people do nothing. It's imperative that the community step up, because this could have been your child, it could have been my child. As I visited his mom a couple of days ago, I saw her heartbreak and the relatives there just crying and weeping. Stephen was a young man who played football in the Little League football team. He was a loved young man. A lot of people had a lot of admiration for him. He was not a troubled youth. If we can't have our young people walk home from the store, then what are we doing as a community? As a leader of this community, I'm encouraging my staff and myself to do more to ensure that we reach out to our community, put more resources in our community, more recreation centers, wraparound services, after school programs. And then we have to deal with the issue of because more than likely this is an unregistered firearm in our community. We have to deal with the issue of illegal guns coming in and out of our community. That's untraceable. That's taking the lives of our young people. One young lady commented on one of my social media outlets. She said that Stephen won't be able to go to his prom. He won't be able to get married. And this is what his friends are feeling in school. And so we know that hurt people hurt people. And so we need healing in our community. We need to come together. This is not just a city leaders issue or MPD issue. This is a community issue. And the more people stay silent and don't do anything about the violence in our community, we'll be here again, and again. We just had another young man who was shot over a pair of Jordan tennis shoes in our community just last month. The senseless violence has to stop. And so I'm encouraging the community to come forward, to come together and put love back into our community. Where's the love? There's too much hate going on in our community. And so I want to close by saying that you should contact our office or MPD. If you have anything to say as relates to Stephen Slaughter's case, this is serious, man. This is someone's child that's on the line here. Community have to step up. Thank you.
Thank you. Take any questions?
You said it. I was hearing that it was caught a crossfire. Can you talk about that?
You know, I've seen those reports in the media. We have received conflicting accounts of exactly what happened. That's why we need, and we're out here today to try and get anyone who may have seen or heard something to come forward.
So far, you don't have anything on video that you're aware of, and
if we had video that had some valuable information, we would release that so that you all could help us with finding who's responsible. We don't have it at this point.
Chief, do you still feel he was an unintended target?
We do not know that. We don't know that for sure. So that's one of the things when you have a case like this, when you have conflicting accounts from witnesses, it's hard to piece together exactly what happened.
could be related to any other shootings in this area? Or
that's something that we will always look at. We did have some shootings in this area in the not too distant past, and so we always look at that. At this point, there does not seem to be an association with any of those cases. None of the same players were involved, but that's something we're definitely going to continue to look at.
Follow up on that, are you talking about the shootings on the 7th and then the 9th? As a possible connection? Are those the ones?
We would look at any shootings in the recent past to see if they're connected.
But so far,
we have not made a direct connection with any prior shootings.
Automatic weapons, is that the case?
Yeah, I saw a report about an automatic weapon. There's no indication that an automatic weapon was involved in this case.
I know this is pretty soon, but I understand that around the corner, like at 15th and U, there have been a number of people shot just a short time ago. Do you know anything about that, and can you tell us what you know?
That one is still under investigation. It has not closed at this point.
Who was Stephen with that night? Did they have any connection to the shooting possibly?
It appears Stephen was with two of his friends. We're not going to release those names. They are witnesses. One of the things that the mayor and the council members said, which I think rings true in a case like this. You have a 14-year-old kid who, by all accounts, was a really good kid. an aspiring football player, beloved at school by his coaches, and certainly beloved by his family. Anyone who's seen the news reports can see that his family has been devastated by this. And then there's the impact on the neighborhood. How do the rest of our 14-year-olds feel when something like this happens? And that's why we're out here today. I am absolutely certain that somebody knows something about what happened here today. It could be somebody from our community. It could be one of the folks that's involved. And I would ask them to come forward if they have some information.
Chief, we also know that you all did get some surveillance video. Can you tell us what was in it at all?
We don't have anything right now that we can release to the public that shows a suspect. We're going to comb this area for anyone that has video, and we have, like you said, we've already been able to get some video, but none of it is relevant to finding who's responsible in this case.
All right, thank you all very much.
Thank you.